Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight so you don't have to. Well, I usually play Dead by Daylight so you don't have to. We've been taking a look at this Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the video game, bro. And I just wanted to get out some of my early thoughts on this shit. This game, man, holy fucking shit, this game. There's a lot of things I want to say, and I don't know if I'm even going to remember everything, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, a couple things I'm not going to progress on because I don't know enough about it yet. The character progression system, character upgrades, all of that stuff, I'm still kind of learning that, and like the character trees and everything. I'm still learning all of that, so I don't know anything about that yet. I don't know what to upgrade. Like, again, I've played probably less than 30 matches of this shit. So, I don't have the character upgrades yet. So, if you would like to give me suggestions on character upgrades that can fix some of the issues I have with the game, then you can probably put those in the comments and I will use them. Okay, because character upgrades, I can already tell drastically change how the game is played. Because of some of my teammates. But, let's go ahead and get started here. First of all, this game, I'll be nice first. I'll be nice. This game is actually very entertaining. It is very entertaining, and it provides a new killer experience. It provides a new killer experience because you are chasing with other people, and that's different. I never played Group Hunter much in Identity 5, and even so, like, I've especially never done it on comms. So doing a thing with, like, somebody else, seeing what questions that you have to ask, like, where are you, press up, do you have line of sight, etc., etc. Like some of the unique ideas, cut her off, go around this way, blah, 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 like, that provides a new and interesting challenge for killers, and when you actually, like, do work together to get a cool kill, it's, that kind of shit can actually be really fun. It can be a very fun and entertaining game, especially when it's played right, and you're interacting with people, and you're running, and you're doing all of the objectives you gotta do. You're actually leveling once Grandpa is leveled up, you're having fun, you're running around, you're getting aura reveals, you're making call-outs with your team. It can all be very good stuff. Okay, you can have a nice little fun set of matches, and you can go, wow, this game's actually kind of fun. Okay, so there you go. The flip side of that is this game has a lot of bullshit, and I can't believe, honestly, it was released the way that it was. They're fun, but very rough and very, very frustrating. Okay? First of all, let's go over the Survivor meta. Okay? The Survivor meta is quickly becoming very irritating and very skillless. Very, very irritating and very, very skillless. These people, like, again, guys, you think the Gen Rush in Dead by Daylight is bad. You think that's bad? Like, when we say, when we say win the game in 2 minutes, like, when we say in Dead by Daylight, the survivors can win the game in 2 minutes, what we mean by that is that survivors have secured a strong enough advantage state to where the killer, unless they massively throw or choke, has no realistic way of coming back. Generator times are 90 seconds if one person is on. So, like, when we say win the game in 2 minutes, like, obviously, we're not saying that the survivors are at the exit gate teabagging in 2 minutes. That's what's happening in this game. If the survivors know what they're doing, they can be out of the basement in the first 5 seconds of the game. You can never see them. You will never have enough time to set traps, collect blood. You will never have enough time to level Grandpa up. You will never have enough time to do anything before an exit is open and they are gone. And technically, if you want to know the truth about how bad this actually is, technically, a 3K is not a win in this game. The developers, the intended win condition here is for you to kill every single person on their team. If one person gets out, they win. That's the intended win condition by the developers. That is ridiculous. So I am choosing to headcanon that it's not the win condition because it doesn't feel right, kind of. Like obviously, if you ask me, like, what's the win condition of TTM? It's what the devs said. If one survivor gets out, they win. That's the true win condition of the game. That being said, though, like, if I get a 3K, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm not going to, this game's going to fucking last 2 months, guys. This game's gonna fucking last 2 months, especially with the shit balance in the state that it's in right now. But anyway, like survivors can literally be out of the basement 5 seconds. Like, you can start the match as Bubba, rev your chainsaw, maybe collect 1 vial of blood, and they're out. It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous how fast they can get out of the basement. They should be trapped in there for at least 30 seconds. At least 30 seconds. Giving the Bubba enough time to fucking do something, and maybe even find the fucking Connie that's getting out of the basement in 2 seconds to go pressure her a little bit, right? Or something. Okay? That's the problem. That's the fucking issue there. They're out of the basement, and then here's another thing. Feeding Grandpa is ridiculous. The guy takes, 100 blood per level to level up? Like, you can get a full kill as Leatherface, go feed Grandpa, he won't level up. Every member of the Sawyer family should be allowed to carry 100 plus blood, so they can all get a level up on Grandpa off of a kill. Seriously. Also, Grandpa debatably should be fucking leveling up as the game progresses by itself too. If you get a kill, that should level Grandpa up just automatically. Like, you shouldn't have to waste time tracking over to him and taking blood to him, because therefore rewarding your kill with better macro gameplay, right? Because big problem with Grandpa is the Sawyers have to cut down on their macro gameplay and their board management, because they each have to go take blood to his bitch ass all the fucking time, or adding a certain amount of predictability to their movements. If you were to fucking let him off of a kill, only off of a kill, especially if you're doing a fucking win condition where it's one survivor gets out, the whole team wins. Especially if that's the kind of win condition you're doing, the Sawyers definitely, if they kill somebody, Grandpa should passively level up to avoid them having to do that. It's kind of stupid and a waste of time. Okay? Feeding Grandpa is a ridiculously slow process. Ridiculously slow. And we'll talk about when you'll really feel how slow it is in a second. The lengths of what they are supposed to do versus what you're supposed to do is ridiculous. All they gotta do, again, they can get out of the basement in the first 10 seconds of the game. All they gotta do is run to the doors and get out. I believe that's how it works. Connie can get out in 10 seconds. Maybe they gotta pick a lock or something. Connie can get out of the basement in 10 seconds. And then, there you go. But what are the Sawyers supposed to do? Sawyers are supposed to go around and collect blood. Hitchhiker, if he's in the game, he's got to go turn the car on. He's got to go set trap. He's got to go turn the gas pump on, the cast valve. Or he's got to go do this, set trap this, do this thing. Sissy's got to go over here, collect blood, blah, 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 blah. Cook's got to put padlocks on. All this shit that they have to do. Bubba is the one who feels most like a standard Dead by Daylight killer, because he is the one that's doing the least. All Bubba really has to do is stop and collect blood if he sees it in a pail or something, and then chase survivors and break shit. And Bubba's got to break shit. Yeah, I forgot about that. Because breaking shit really isn't part of the micro in this. It's because when you're Bubba and you see something, it's probably an infinite. It says break it, you probably need to break it. Okay. Next, let's talk about Chase. Chase is a little fucking ridiculous. I don't care what member of the Sawyer family you are. A straight 1v1 in the game is terrible. You are legit garbage. Unless it's late game and so many things have been destroyed already. Even then, as Bubba, you still, as Bubba or Johnny or character that can't fit through the wall, so Bubba, Johnny, Cook, they can't slip through the walls. It's not complete loss, but okay. Now, to be fair, we don't. Some of these maps are kind of hard to know. So maybe in 20XX Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 20XX, you'll be able to go, okay, she's slipping through the wall. I know exactly where she's going to come out, and I'm going to be able to get over there and rotate around to get to her, and still keep the pressure on her. Oh, she's going in 20XX. Maybe you'll be able to do that and trap them. If they go back and forth, you can just trap them long enough for a teammate to show up. Going back and forth only delays them. It doesn't avoid you, right? So maybe 20XX you'll be able to know exactly where they're going to pop out. But right now, on day 2, it's they slipped through the cracks and the chase is over on Bubba, Cook, and Johnny. Chase is over. I don't know where the fuck they are. They went into the wall. Half the map is completely inaccessible to me. It's completely inaccessible to me. That's crap. And so they're out. Yeah, if only Hitchhiker and Sissy can keep the pressure on that person at this point. Ridiculous. So many, like, things where it's like, Bubba's got to break this, Cook's got to close the fucking hatch, Bubba's got to break this, Bubba's got to break this, Bubba's got to break that. Needing one specific member of your team to come over and break something in this game where the maps can be quite big is kind of ridiculous. Because the survivors can pretty much always guarantee that they're going to have something on the map that Bubba did not break. Bubba cannot be everywhere at once to break all of the shit. He just can't. He just can't do it. He's one part of the team. But anyway, in the 1v1, like, what I'm saying is the survivors can develop strategies to survive you in a 1v1 no matter who you're playing. Again, Bubba and Cook, they can go through the little shit, or they can fucking, Cook's chase potential is absolutely garbage. So he has, like, no chase potential. He has no special power, no stamina. Like, he's ridiculously weak. Cook, you kind of have to cut him off and jump scare him and shit. Like, cut him, like, whack him and just kind of hope your teammates are there, or you can't really 1v1 anybody. Cook is the most macro character in the game for that reason. He needs to really just be monitoring objectives. Hitchhiker, his DPS is fucking terrible. Just fucking terrible. So it's like, you can stab these guys fucking 35 times and they still won't die. They still won't die. You'll be all over them. You'll be chasing them for a long-ass fucking time. And it's like, ooh, I can't get them. They just won't fucking die. The chase is taking way too long. Again, this is all in a 1v1. And then Bubba, we already talked about. And then Johnny I actually hear is okay in chase. And Sissy's got poison, so shit. But again, her DPS without poison still isn't the best from what I understand. I haven't played her yet. I still think she's the best character in the game. We'll talk about why in a second. But it's just like, the point still stands though. They will adjust their strategies to survive any of you in a 1v1. They can do that. You're not pressuring them very much in a 1v1 in chase. What that means is you have to fucking be chasing them in like a 2v1. The only time you have any sort of advantage in chase is when you can block their options and cut them off. And be like, go over here. Okay, we're on Slaughterhouse. I'm Bubba. I'm breaking the fucking thing at the top of the house. She's going down the ladder. You need to be there to cover it because I can't go down the ladder. And then your fucking Cook player can go, okay. And then he rotates around with this big damage DPS output. She comes down, Cook whacks her, and then Cook goes, okay, I hit her. She's going this way. The Bubba will have already gotten down and rotated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the only time you have any advantage in this game is when you're 2v1 pressuring. And even then, some of their setups are so stupid that they can still avoid you in 2v1s. They can still avoid you in 2v1s. It's nuts. It is absolutely fucking nuts that they can do that. Now, the rest of the objectives, I'm not really going to cover as much because, again, I'm still learning the map, so I don't know objective spacing and all that horse shit yet. Hitchhiker probably needs to trap everything is what I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, based on how fast that the fucking game is. But let's talk about some of the other problems that are not intended in the gameplay. Like, those are just some of the gameplay issues. Feeding Grandpa takes too long. They'll be out before you do it. Chase is too bad, etc., etc., etc. So, like, those are the main... The macro problem is that Grandpa is too long to feed. And Grandpa's meta, by the way. Like, you have to feed this guy. You have to feed him. So, like, it just takes forever. But anyway, let's talk about some of the other issues. Maps. The only map that I find reasonably okay is the Sawyer House. That one is okay. I've played at the gas station enough to where that's the one I kind of know the best, so that one is growing on me just a little bit because I feel like I know that one the best. But the map I want to talk about here is Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse is an unmitigated disaster. Slaughterhouse is fucking garbage. Holy fucking shit, dude. This map is trash. I can tell you why it's trash. I said this a lot last night. The reason that Slaughterhouse is such a bad map is because it's an indoor map. It is. It is an indoor map. I know it has outdoor portions, but even the outdoor portions of Slaughterhouse play exactly like an indoor map, where you can't go from point A to point B. Like, you can't go in a straight line. Your visibility is very bad. You can't really see them. A lot of shit's blocking. Like, it plays exactly like an indoor map, and indoor maps do not work. They never have. There is not one indoor map in the history of asymmetrical gaming that has actually fucking worked. Not one. They're all legit terrible. Every single indoor map in the game is bad. The best one is Midwich on Dead by Daylight. That's the best one. And the only reason that's the best one is that the tiles there are so fucking laughably weak that it balances out the killer's shit macro on most teams. Now, of course, they can still gen rush you on Midwich. That's not what I'm saying. But the closest they ever came to doing it right was Midwich. And survivors would not agree with that statement. I'm sure. But overall, the Hawkins was actually okay too. But again, that's because it was shit for the survivors. Like, in terms of balance, you have to make it so shit for the survivors or else they don't work. But these indoor maps, man, just fucking terrible. There's a fucking thing that Bubba has to break every other fucking place. The actual slaughterhouse is a disaster. Like, I try to avoid the slaughterhouse portion of the map like the fucking plague. You'll go in there, you'll never be able to come out. You will get lost. Maybe that's day 1 or day 2 stuff. But it's just like the kiting shit is really bad there. Again, Bubba has to break shit every 2 meters in that outdoor section. There's a lot of places to slip through the walls. A lot of wells, which I forgot to talk about the wells. The wells suck. Wells are just a free reset for them. It's stupid. The wells on all maps are very, very stupid and shouldn't be there. There should not be a way that they can just... Or if you want to have them there, Hitchhiker should be able to go down them too. Hitchhiker and Sissy should be able to go down the wells. They just should. The wells should not be a free reset for them that nobody on the killer side can challenge or even go to. Because all what the good survivor does is if they are under any kind of pressure, they rotate to the well and jump down into it. And it's like, well, just have your third member of the team down in the well to cover them, bro. Yeah, okay. You haven't played fucking killer yet, have you? Like, that's not happening. That's not happening, especially if you're spreading out like the game wants you to. You're not going to have one random member of the Sawyers jerking off in the basement, just waiting for someone to come down from the well. The only way that would realistically happen is if they have used the well like at least 4 or 5 times and you've killed 2 people. Right? That's when that would happen. The wells suck. The wells fucking suck. Anyway, back to a fucking slaughterhouse. The map is so trash that back exit, I think it's like the gas valve one. I think that's the one it is. That one is super easy for them to get. And again, like I had a game. Okay, let me tell you about how bad Slaughterhouse is. I had a game, 2 games. Okay, there's 2 games I want to talk about on Slaughterhouse. The first game is we played a Swift. Me and the team I was playing with, Ted and Lily. We played a Swift who escaped in 2 minutes. We didn't see one person the whole game. Okay, I think I might have hit one person in the basement, and that was about it. Okay, as Bubba, and I didn't see one person. I think our Ted the sissy might have saw one too. I think we might have saw it had an interaction for that maybe lasted 10 seconds. They all got out. Okay, and then we were like on the end game screen. There's like proxy chat in this game, like on the end game screen. So I kind of just forgot about that. So I was telling you about we didn't see anybody. And they were all like, and then the survivors got their mics out and they're like, yeah, you did. We passed you like 5 times, bro. Like you passed us like 5 times. You didn't see us. And I'm like, that's not real interaction. And then the game then it cuts out. And then it cuts out. And then we queue back up. We're on the PS4, so I'm sure the player base isn't as big. We re-queue up with the same Swift. We re-queue up with the same guys. So we re-queued up, and then Lily was like, it's the same guys. And I'm like, and so I asked them, I'm like, do you guys, so I'm like, so you guys actually think that what you just did there was skillful? And they're like, yeah, we did it correctly. Yeah, and then there was one guy who's like, do your job. You just mad, do your job. So then we queued up at the Sawyer house, a more balanced map. We fucking beat the shit out of them. We fucking beat the absolute fucking piss out of them. And then we get to the end game chat again, and I'm like, I'm like, you do your job. We did your job. Well, we did our job. You're fucking dead. The guy who was shit talking got 575 points. A true fucking disaster. The other guy who was shit talking got less than 800. Like they both died. Did he? I think he got less than 800. We weren't streaming this game. I don't think. We weren't. We were just in like that Slaughterhouse map carries garbage. It carries garbage and allows them to be way stealthier than they ever should be. like on the Sawyer map, we were able to get Grandpa working. The Sissy engine was working. We were able to get Grandpa and up. We started. They couldn't stealth us out as easily. And as soon as they couldn't stealth us out, they were forced to actually play the game and interact with the mechanics, and they died in 2 seconds because they were bad. But Slaughterhouse carried them. Slaughterhouse and the stealth-based survivor meta were able to carry them. Because, like, even though they have an advantage in micro, they don't need to do it. They don't want to do it. Because the meta of the game is for them to sneak out in 2 minutes without you noticing them. Which is the shittiest way to lose this game. It's the shittiest way to lose this game because you didn't play the game. In that match where we lost on Slaughterhouse to the Swift, every member of the team got less than 1,500 points. Every member of the team of the Swift got less than 1,500 points, and every member of the killer team got more points than them on a 4-out. Maybe we got 1, I forget. But on a 4-out, we all 3 got over 1,500 points. I think it's what it was. Like, the survivors, when they stealth you, they do nothing. They don't get any points. They don't interact with the game at all. And then they get out in 2 minutes. It's a fucking joke. It is a fucking joke and a shit show. And the devs need to fucking nerf it. They need to nerf the stealth meta. Give the Sawyers more tools to find you. Especially in solo. Especially in fucking solo. Especially. So we talked about that. Now let's talk about the solo killer experience. Really, let's touch on that really fast. Or is there another game? Oh, the other game. Oh, no, wait. I got one more thing to say about Slaughterhouse first. The other game on Slaughterhouse I'm going to talk about is another game where a Swift got out in 2 minutes. Okay? So, like, another game where 3 members of the team got out in 2 minutes. Okay? They stealthed us, got out, and we're all sitting here. Me, Lily, and Ted are sitting here in the game. And we're all like, okay, there's one guy left. Hopefully he just leaves. And then he wasn't leaving. Cook's listen ability is trash. The person wasn't really moving, so that didn't work. We had Grandpa at level like 2 or 3. I think it was 2, because again, they Swift got out in 2 minutes. And without interacting, so there was no blood there. We had Grandpa at like 2, and Grandpa's detection, it has long cooldown, wasn't really working. Didn't give us an aura. So we're all sitting here, and I'm sitting here going, guys, we're going to have to get the guy to level 5. If this person doesn't leave the game, I don't know if the person was deliberately holding us hostage or was just so ignorant of the game that they were just really bad and didn't know where the exit was. I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm not going to say, but the result of the game either way is a situation where the game was over in the first 5 minutes, and we had to spend, I shit you not, another 15 minutes running around the map, all collecting blood to take over to Grandpa, because Grandpa, again, this is the part where I was talking about how slow it is to fucking feed him. Like, with no fucking survivors, it took us, like, an additional 15 minutes to find all the blood, to get back to him, rotate around this map. I know I got lost, which is that skill issue, sure, that's day 1. We gotta play on these maps to fucking learn them. But, like, I'd say even if we all didn't get lost, the process probably would have still taken 10 minutes. Because the blood pools don't respawn as much. It's still a long venture out. Like, feeding Grandpa is ridiculously slow. And then we finally get the guy to tier 5, and then the person DC'd. Like, what the actual fuck? And that goes with the Sawyer's inability to track survivors. Feeding Grandpa is really slow. Except, like, that is a massive issue. It is a massive issue. Grandpa needs... the Sawyers either need to carry more blood and gig up more blood through fucking the blood pools. Like, the blood trails need to give you more. Or Grandpa just, I don't know, passively level up. Maybe he has a gauge that passively goes up over time, that feeding blood, like, you know, like Oni's Blood Fury gauge. Passively kind of go, or the Solatico tapes, how they used to work. Like, a passive gauge that kind of goes up over time. That way, it's like, if you feed a Grandpa and he barely doesn't get to a level, you don't have to, like, make another stop over there. It's like, okay, the passive level up will probably be good enough now to get him to the next level so we can go out and pressure the survivors. There needs to be some form of thing, and then it's like, you're pressuring the survivors, and then, like, Grandpa gets an aura reveal on everybody, and then it's like, okay, now I can do more active pressure. You know, tracking has got to get better on the killer side. Okay, now that kind of goes with the solo queue killer experience. if you think solo survivor in Dead by Daylight is bad, you haven't seen anything. You haven't seen anything. Now, I will say this about Dead by Daylight. We know the game. We know the game by now. We plop in. They're more likely that you will get players who know the game, know the map you're on. Like, this is why I think solo queue isn't as bad as everybody says it is. Obviously, in Jeff matchmaking, it's back to being bad. But during the MMR days, the real MMR days, solo queue was better than it's ever been. Because the odds of you getting three decent players on your survivor team were actually higher. And then 4 good solos against a bad killer. A bad killer isn't bitch boy. Like a bad character. The solos can win that, right? That's why solo queue in MMR was better than it ever has been. But, like, you don't... The amount of callouts required to play Dead by Daylight against 95% of the roster are minimum. Obviously, if you're playing a really good Nurse, Blight, or Spirit as a Swift, then you probably need to make those callouts. But if you're playing, like, the Pig, it's like Quadrant 4. The Pig's coming to Quadrant 3. You can fucking go out there. Do the gen. Like, that's not fucking necessary to be Pig. Okay? This game, the way that it is balanced around the killers being a SWAT team. Like, that's what AQ said. It's balanced around the killers playing like a SWAT team. Like, it really is. If you go in there in solo queue, nothing gets done. Nothing. Now, again, that's partially because we don't know the game. Maybe in 20XX, solo queue will be a little better because you'll be able to bounce off the rhythm of each other's plays and you'll kind of understand the game a little bit more. Especially with no MMR system, though. Good luck. Good luck. You hop in there, okay? You hop in there as Leatherface, Grandpa doesn't get fed. Nobody on the killer side knows to feed Grandpa. Not one person. And, like, even when I'm proxy chatting, because I don't usually chat in video games. I don't. I kind of hate it. I think it's cringe. But if you want to get anything done as the Sawyers, you need capital NEED to be communicating with each other. If you are not communicating, the role doesn't work. Part of the Sawyers being able to function and go is communication. You have to talk to each other. You have to talk to each other. That aura ability that lets you see the aura of your family members, it has a really insanely long cooldown. Its cooldown needs to be lowered. The cooldown for that aura ability is insanely big, and it's bad. Like that ability needs some fine tuning as well. It should also display the aura of blood capsules like differently depending on how much that they have. Like if they have full blood, they should be in red, but that's beside the point. Maybe not red, because I know red used for other, or maybe change. Like, they should be displayed with a brighter efficiency, is what I'm saying, to, like, make your trips around the map more effective. But your family, like your family members, like, the idea behind it is, like, I kind of see that, like, what they're going for is, if you walk into the family, they'll start yelling at each other, because, like, everybody thinks that they're good. Like, the idea is, like, the lack of communication is supposed to be, like, thematic or something, I guess. But it's like, if you want to, like, see this role go off with any form of function and ingenuity, you need fucking communication. You need to have the bubble player saying, okay, I got 2 of them in the basement. They're going to be here for a second. Cook, go set up a padlock. And then Cook goes, okay, I have time to go swing over and get the blood first because I know they're not going to get out of the basement in 2 seconds. Sissy in a team is much better because when you're in a team as Sissy, your role becomes to get the blood. She can, like, I know she has, maybe every character has this, but, like, she has an upgrading system that lets you carry blood a lot more of it. Like, the guy, like Ted said, he carries, like, 140 blood or some fucking horse shit. So he can run up to Grandpa and just dump him a whole level. Like, a good Sissy with good blood transportation can get Grandpa to level 1 before the survivors are out of the basement, provided they're not super MLG. If they're super MLG, they're getting out in 5 seconds. But like an average team, if you have a good Sissy against an average team of survivors that aren't very good and don't really know what they're doing, Sissy can dump level 1 into Grandpa before the survivors are out of the basement. And then what happens is then the Bubba then gets an aura reveal and he greatly appreciates it. And then it's like, okay, I couldn't really find them, but now that Grandpa's level 1, they're all still down here with me. Now I get an aura reveal. I can swing to the door and pressure the person that's about to get out. Now I'm hitting somebody. Oh, I just got a kill. Sissy, you just helped me out. Very good. Somebody's upstairs. Now I'm coming to feed Grandpa. Like the plays of each role depend on what the other people are doing. So if you're not talking, the role is insanely weak. Solo survivor eats solo killer. Especially with just the more complexity of killer in general, you have to like be like, okay, who's like if you're a cook player, you have somebody, he's like kind of trapped in the corner, you have to be on comms and be like, Bubba, help me, I got him trapped, I need you over here. And then the Bubba can go, okay, where are you? And the cook can look at his top right screen, use the call out button, go, oh, I'm over here. Bubba can press up, and then you can see the aura rotate his way over there. The cook can just kind of like you have to be talking. You have to be talking to one another, or the role doesn't work. The role doesn't work. Not only does it not work, it is unplayable. The Sawyers are unplayable in solo queue. When I boot this game up and I play solo, I am not trying to win, because there's no point. There's no point. They will beat you every time in solo queue. The escape rates for this game right now probably look insanely bad, and solo killer needs adjustments. Through passive Grandpa buildup and better tracking. Those are the two ways to fix it. Because Grandpa just doesn't get fed. Your teammates don't feed him. I'm sitting there with my headset on saying, guys, please feed Grandpa. I say this before every game. Please feed Grandpa. Please feed him. Please feed him. Grandpa is good. Please feed him. Nobody does it. Nobody does it. I'm talking to the wall. And that's every team-based game where you'll say something and just be talking to the wall. But it's I don't play team-based games often, so I just think it's incredible that I get on and say, guys, please feed Grandpa, please feed him. I'm trying to help you, please feed Grandpa. We will win more if you feed Grandpa, and then nobody feeds him. I met Ted and Lily both in-game. I have known these people less than 24 hours. But as soon as I saw Ted was talking, and that Ted was decent and good, and it's he's been playing a little bit, and I'm like, Ted's like, this is my first game, but it's okay, the guy's talking. It doesn't matter if he's good or bad, really, and he's good. I like his sissy. He's good. It's it doesn't matter. He's talking. The fact that he's talking means you will be able to fucking win. And then Lily is talking. We're talking. We'll be in a 3-man. The fact that you are in a 3-man will bump the number of people that you can beat up. It doesn't, regardless of skill. Because if you are a 3-man communicating, you can beat more teams. You can't beat Swips and MLG gods. You can't. But, the fucking people, the fucking matches where it's I've seen 2 people, I'm not going to say they don't happen, and they can, and you can get held hostage. We had some issues even in the 3-man. But those were just more game issues. Again, the game, crashed a couple times. The game actually cut us out of our mics one time. Some dumb shit's been happening. But overall, lads, you need Swift in this. Kill your friends. If you don't have it, the game's impossible. And again, if you think solo queue survivor is bad, boot up solo killer in this game, and then come back and tell me how bad solo queue survivor is. I am dead fucking serious. Solo queue as killer is a nightmare in this game. So, it may have seemed like I've done a lot of bitching. Overall, you asked me if I liked the game. When you get a good game in this game, when you get a good match, you're seeing survivors, you're interacting, you're chasing, doing all the objectives. The game is fun. The game is actually good fun when it's played the way it should be. However, as soon as the meta takes over, the game starts to suck. As soon as you get a team that's playing to win, the game is trash. The game is absolute trash. The game is objectively kind of really bad. It's fun. It's fun and rough. The game is objectively fun when you get a good match. But there are so many issues right now that they need to fix. Again, I don't think that fixing the wells is fucking competitive balancing. These devs said that they're not doing MMR and they don't care about balance. Okay, but okay, as much as that's irritating, you can still fix these basic issues. This is the same thing we talk about with DBD all the time. There are a lot of issues and quality of life improvements that the Sawyers desperately fucking need on a casual level to enhance the experience. The Sawyers have a good foundation to be something very cool and very unique. But the problem is, if you're not going to fix the issues and make the role live up to that potential that it has, it's always just going to be that potential to be greatness. And then if you get stuck in that loop, you become Dead by Daylight. The potential for greatness, but overall garbage. Alrighty, that's what I got to say about TCM, lads. A lot of bitching, I know. A lot of issues with the game that I hope that they fix. And I will be very curious to read the first patch for this game to see what they do. Because there is a lot of shit that needs fixed. Preferably sooner rather than later. Alrighty, I'm getting the hell out of here. GG's.